And while we agree that we all have individual spaces to profess our faith and together come together, in terms of this sort of national space where you're the leader, and what, just to piggyback on the point of Sheikh Lithome, at what point do we say that this is the symbol of, you know, of presidency, and this is my faith, this is in person, and this is what's happening in public? And is there a danger to sort of exclude others?
Very good question. The way I understood, I totally agree with my brother Lithome and what he has said. In fact, he has used very similar words as I have used in where people have asked me this same question. That there are two or three things that we can say about the prayer that took place in State House. The first one is what he said about Thanksgiving. And the team there said, the president and the deputy president, together with their families, said this is a thanksgiving to God for what he has done for us. And that is quite in order for people to come back and give thanks to God. The second one, I don't know whether the clip will be played but it was said, he said, after this group prayer, I would like some of the pastors and bishops to come and pray in the offices.
Yes.
You know, in our offices. So he said he was going to call a few people of the bishops and pastors to go and pray with him, pray for them in their offices. That's a second issue. Then what the First Lady has mentioned about the regularity or frequency with which these kinds of prayers will be held.
Yeah.
So to me, I see those as three separate issues that each should be looked at independently. The first issue of Thanksgiving, I think it is right and proper that they called for these Thanksgiving prayers. And I don't think that we should spend too much time. Right. The second one is about praying in the offices of State House, the place that we have talked about. As a pastor, I don't know whether it happens in the Islamic religion, but in the Christian religion, it is our practice, and many people have gone to many offices. When a person is appointed into a new office, that they invite their pastor or their spiritual leader to come and pray for them in that office. That happens even when a person is going into a new home or a house and so on. So you go and pray with them in that premise. So we would go and if it is whether it is a government official, I've done that several times. You know, somebody who is a member of our church has been appointed a CS or a PS or a head of a department or whatever, and they say, Pastor, before I enter into my office, I would like you to come and pray with me in that office. So I go and we pray together with them in the office, even though it is a government office. So if this is what the president was doing, again, from a Christian point of view, I see no problem, because it is a one-off event, because he will not be getting into his office every day. He will want people to go and pray with him every day. Yeah. But this one-time event where he calls on his spiritual leaders to come and pray with him, and again, according to what our brother Lithome has said, it will be the people who believe in his faith. So he may not call Muslims to go and pray for him in his office, because this is an expression of his personal faith. Now, the third one, which we talked about, can these types of prayers be held continuously? I think that's regularly. I think that is where now we have to say, if there is a need for other prayers to take place in State House, they would have to be all-inclusive. And this has happened many times. We have been with him in many prayer meetings at State House, where we have the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians, and so on, because this is a public event, a national event. And so in that, I would say the president and the deputy president would have to be sensitive to the fact that they are presidents not just for the Christians, but for all of us as Kenyans, and our expression of faith, therefore, on a public national event would have to take that into account. He is perfectly free to call a few of us in the privacy, not a public like that one, to go and pray with him in his office on a daily basis.
Yes.
There's nothing
There's
wrong
no
with
problem with that.
There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
We can go there and pray with him on a daily basis.
Morning, evening.
Morning, evening,
Yeah, absolutely.
as often
Yeah,
as possible.
yeah, yeah.
Because that is private expression of faith.
Yes.
And this, since this is his residence and this is where he's doing his thing, we will go, we will pray with him in private without, but if he is to gather a national gathering platform like that,
Yeah.
then obviously it requires that there is an appreciation of our religious diversity.